Hey everybody, Matt Johnson here. Natalie Shirilla's body language clues exposed after her latest TV interview.
And like, where's Dom? Like, what happened? And Davion, it's like so sad. She's literally trapped in this nightmare.
She's putting on a show here. This look how animated and stuff she is because she's selling what she's saying.
So do you spot the same clues as our body language expert?
Yes. I mean, I told all of her friends that she has POTS because they need to know what to do if she has an episode.
I don't think she believes the kid has POTS.
We have full analysis, but first, do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hype the episode. Now the case of Mackenzie Shirilla. Here to help join in the conversation and offer analysis, we have a very special guest. We have Scott Rouse, behavior analyst, body language expert. I'm going to have all the information in my show notes. You know him from his YouTube channels. But first off, thank you for being here. I want to play a couple clips of the mom, Natalie Shirilla. She's opening up to Chris Cuomo on his show. And first off, you know, she and her daughter both have expressed that they really want to be influencers and they care a lot about image. And she's saying that she didn't want to go on camera before when her husband was interviewed because she wasn't camera ready. So I want to play that for you and see what you have to say about it.
Camera ready. So I wasn't sure if I didn't know if that was like his thing or I knew that I could always come on, but I was not camera ready at all.
So Chris Cuomo explaining to her that she could have been part of the initial interviews with her husband. She was standing off to the side, speaking with him while the husband was giving the interview to Chris Cuomo. So do you believe her?
No.
Was she not camera ready? Did you pick up on anything? I know you're just seeing this for the first time.
Yeah, that's that. I don't know if you cuss on her or not, but her husband didn't want her to do it for some reason. She couldn't do it. That's an excuse. We're hearing what's called fading facts. At the end of that, listen to how that thing ends, and she gets real quiet there toward the end. This is
very animated though, right?
It's the show. I was getting ready. You're good at this. She's putting on a show here. Look how animated and stuff she is because she's selling what she's saying. That's what this is. That's not true at all.
I didn't know if that was like his thing or I knew that I could always come on, but I was not camera ready at all.
That's not true. And I'm telling you, we talked about this earlier too. Women watching this will go, that's not it. She's not being honest because they can see from women's intuition that that's probably most likely deceptive. I really think it is. And I'm worked up about this because once you told me she was an influencer, I was like, okay, let's get a look at this. That's a show. She's putting on a show to defend her reason for not being there. So
well, she's living vicariously through her daughter, according to a lot of the experts that I've talked to. And they wanted to be influencers. They were very excited when there was news coverage and coverage abroad after this tragedy took place, after Mackenzie killed her boyfriend, Dom Russo, and their friend, Davion Flanagan, in her car when she was driving at reckless speeds of over 100 miles per hour. Again, it was a bench trial. She was convicted, serving 15 years to life, and the first parole eligibility will be 2037 because the Supreme Court rejected the new trial and rejected hearing the case arguments for an appeal there. But getting back to this, the mom, again, she is doing this interview and blaming everybody, but she and her husband for their part in the trial and their advice. But here's what she had to say about why she's blaming the defense and why her daughter should get a new trial.
Okay.
And we weren't in there. I was a witness and he was a potential witness. So we were not allowed in there to hear what he was saying or not saying or doing or not doing or presenting. So she only had one day for her defense and then it was over. And then the things I found out after the trial, I don't know what happened.
First off, the daughter could have testified. She chose not to, and they chose to not put on a witness when they were claiming POTS, which we'll talk about. But she's complaining about the defense and the defense attorney. And again, I just hit the pause right there, but I'm going to get your thoughts at the end.
Okay.
And something's wrong. Something's wrong somewhere. I don't know. I don't understand a lot.
What is the plan going forward?
I'm finding that this appellate process is being stuck in quicksand. During this process, I've talked to many different appellate attorneys, and they've all said, we've lost our way, our country's lost our way. Our appellate process has gone from really caring about what's right and more about procedural errors. So I have no choice but to be guided by hope that that somebody somewhere will be able to look at this critically and see in black and white that there was no proof of intent and things that were not presented in the trial that could have proven that. I'm just guided by hope. I'm just going to keep going. And I feel bad for the families because I am going to keep going. But I hope that they would also do this for their kids too. Their kids would want them to do this for them too if something was wrong. If there was a true wrong, like if they were convicted incorrectly, they should be doing this for their kids too.
Okay, she's talking a little bit about the fact that her family has come under criticism for the way that they've treated the other families that are the victims in all of this. But, in just watching that initially, is she like looking off at notes, or is she looking off at maybe her husband standing by, or did you pick up on anything like that? Or
I have no choice but to be guided by hope that that somebody somewhere will be able to look at this critically and see in black and white that there was no proof of intent and things that were not presented in the trial that could have proven that.
This is defense. She's defending, obviously they lost, but she's just these are excuses for why they lost and why her daughter is still in, has been made to be in the wrong. Like her daughter, I don't want to say is innocent, but she's defending that situation. Of her daughter not getting the right shot at being put away for a long time.
So it's everybody else's fault but her daughter's. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why she gets into I was talking to these people. She uses words you usually don't hear from in normal everyday conversation. When you talk about things, you can talk about a process of this and a process of that. She's been all up in this, so she's sort of using the lingo that she's heard around court. So that's why she's saying the appellate. It is an appellate process. It's the way you talk about it, that's what you say. But her leaning into those words like that let me know that she's into this. It's become part of her identity as the mother of this girl who's in this situation, and now she's the one that's the one talking. Sorry, this thing just got me there. She's the one that's the head of what's going on. The father may be, but she's trying to show she's in charge as well, and I don't think she knows as much as she's letting on. She's not as smart as she thinks she is. In other words, that sounds mean, but I'm seeing this for the first time. I'm just telling you what I think. And now I'll pay attention to whether she's looking at somebody or not.
I'm finding that this appellate process is being stuck in quicksand. During this process, I've talked to many different appellate attorneys.
When she looks over and those eyebrows go up, that's called an eyebrow flash. And when you see somebody especially for the first time, your eyebrows will go up. And they'll pop up for a second and they'll go down. If you see somebody you don't know, or somebody walks in the room, even if you don't know them, your eyebrows will go up like that just for a second. Hey. And when she's looking at that person, it looks like she's, she's not doing it every time, but there's a specific spot she's looking at where her eyebrows do go up as an eyebrow flash. Wait a minute. Let me see.
I'm finding that this appellate process is being
Yeah, I don't know if she's looking at a computer screen off to the left, or maybe someone walks up behind it, like you're saying. I
don't think she's looking at a person. She's looking at right in the dead same place every time she squints. So she's looking, maybe she's trying to read something. There may be somebody else back there, because we do see the eyebrow flash a couple of times. Like she's taking in information, like not that thing, but right before that big eyebrow raise, it looks like information intake, where she's looking at somebody and they're saying something or showing her something. She's like, and she gives a little heads up, I've got it, but it happens really quickly. It's hard to tell because that just watching that twice like that, I'll have to really study that and see where her eyes are going.
Well, let us know if you see it again as we're analyzing a couple more clips, because another thing that has drawn criticism about this case, and, from the Netflix documentary, The Crash, was...
What do you think happened to cause the crash?
Through all the evidence that has been presented, the most logical speculation seems to be a medical emergency.
The family is really doubling down on what they say the defense was all to begin with. They say that there was a pre-existing medical condition which caused Mackenzie Shirilla to lose control of her car, and maybe she lost consciousness. The family claims, or at least the mother does, that it has happened before, and she testified to that.
POTS is it's a condition where your blood pressure gets very low, and it happens sometimes when you stand up too fast, you can pass out.
Have you observed your daughter experience these symptoms?
Yes.
On how many occasions prior to this accident?
Multiple, couple for sure, multiple, yeah.
So you were aware of these POTS incidents, yet you still went to the DMV and said, give my daughter a driver's license.
Yes.
You signed off on her operating a car on the highway.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
Knowing that she had this issue?
It's not required to disclose it on a driver's permit. They didn't tell me I had to do that. I know people that have POTS and don't have it on theirs.
Chris Cuomo asks her about this, and he says, hey, wait a second. This is really rare kind of medical condition, and I wanted to get your take on it, and let me know if you spot any deception.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why the trial went the way it did. But yes, I mean, I told all of her friends that she has POTS, because they need to know what to do if she has an episode. Like, they have to know. She has had a couple episodes, and they were very aware of it. And if you don't know what to do when somebody's having an episode from POTS, they can have a seizure.
Did you pick up on anything with those answers?
Yeah, she may have told people that, but I don't think she believes the kid has POTS. POTS, a lot of times old people get that, and when they get up, they'll pass out because their blood pressure drops real big. I don't know much about POTS at all, but I just haven't listened to some old people talking about it. I haven't looked into that as a medical situation at all, but this looks like she doesn't believe what she's telling you. She believes that she tells people her daughter has POTS. I don't believe she believes her daughter has it, or it's as bad as she's coming on that it is. I don't think it's as serious a situation as she's making it believe. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know about POTS, but I've heard it a few times, and it was just when old people would stand up and somebody else.
Most people don't know about it, and Chris Cuomo was like, not a lot of people know about this, and they had a flash on the screen during the interview, like what it was, and so I mean, you're not alone. You're not alone there.
Okay.
Thank you for that. And now I want to play another clip where she's talking about Mackenzie doesn't know the full story because Mackenzie has never seen the full discovery. Granted, she was part of her defense, right? She was sitting there during the whole trial, which was a bench trial, meaning that she didn't have a jury in place deciding her fate. It was the judge that did that. But here's the mom talking about Mackenzie not really knowing all the facts.
Okay.
She's never seen the evidence. She's never seen the discovery. She's never seen anything. So she's almost trapped in a nightmare that she has. All she knows is that the boyfriend that she loved with her whole heart is gone, and Davion is gone, and she was the driver in a car accident and has no memory of it. So it's literally, I'm going to cry again. You should see her artwork. It's so sad. And one of these days I'll share it, but I'm not going to share it now for obvious reasons, but it's really sad. She does self-portraits of herself where she has like a thorn, like a rose of thorns around her neck, or like her mouth is sewn shut, and she's got all these question marks around her head, like why? And like, where's Dom? Like, what happened? And Davion, it's like so sad. She's literally trapped in this nightmare. And so she struggles mentally with that part. And I feel.
What do you think about that? Is she making that up?
Man, I think the mother and daughter are probably very similar personality-wise. As into this as she's getting, I think she knows what happened. I mean,
so are you noticing any deception in what she's saying? Do you believe her story here?
no, I think she's just defending her daughter. I mean, I believe she probably draws that weird stuff. That gives you another indication of what kind of personality type you're dealing with there. But look how animated the mother is with the illustrations and all that. She's performing at this point. So I'm sure she's one of those people that has a lot of anxiety, lots of anxiety. And I don't think she's looking at somebody when she's looking over there. I think it's just a habit of hers. When she's looking down mostly, that's when she's actually remembering things. She's remembering the pictures and remembering the things she would wear and things like that. At the same time, I think she's structuring her story that she's got to tell. That's why things get so big. She's selling here again. Again, going back to the wanting to be an influencer, I think that's a part of it too. And I would say this daughter and mother, when the mother was that age, she may have been a lot like her daughter, because this seems like a lot of things out of control with this mother. She can't control her actions. She can control them, but I'm saying it's tough for her when she's talking about something to keep everything calm and be able to carry on a conversation. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It just looks a little bit frazzled. Not frazzled, but she looks a little bit out of control to me.
I have one more clip to play you. And she's talking about the appellate process up to that point. Again, it's since been denied, but I wanted to get your take on it.
Okay.
It's just unfortunate. I know that this appeal process, for instance, is so hard. It's got to be so hard for them to watch, because every time it's in the news, it's like, it's been constantly in the news for 4 years. And I know that when it's got to be hard for them to see, because it's like picking at a scab. I always say it's like picking at a scab that's never going to heal.
She's talking about the other families.
Like it's never, ever had a chance to heal because it's so in the limelight. So I do feel bad for them, because it's a constant reminder that their kids are gone. But I can't, I wish it was private. I wish we could fight this privately so that they don't have to see it, because my heart breaks for them. It breaks for them. But I can also hope privately, I hope that as this information comes out, that there might be a chance that they can see it wasn't intentional, and maybe it'll make them feel a little bit better knowing their boys were loved so much, and it wasn't this crazy intentional act that that they made it seem by this ridiculous story that's not true.
Okay, so I wish we could have seen the body language on the last part when she was saying it's not true. But when she's kind of like talking about being sorry for the other families or showing empathy or remorse, is she telling the truth? Does she have those emotions? And it's going to play in just a minute. Here we go. Her heart breaks for them. Do you believe it?
I think she's just worried about her daughter. She probably feels sorry for him. I don't see somebody that's actually, we don't see any tears. We don't see any grief in her forehead. We see the eyebrows going up a lot. I think that looking off there is sort of just a nervous habit. I bet she's got a couple little tics too that people would be aware of, where she, has a tick she does with her teeth or her hands or something, because she seems wired.
Do you believe her? Is there any deception here? Is she telling the truth when right around here she's very animated and she's like, my heart breaks for them?
Well, she understands that it's mothers and fathers who've lost their children. She understands how that would feel, or she thinks she does anyway. And her daughter is involved in that. It's her daughter's fault that happened. So I think she does feel bad for him. That seems honest to me. And I don't know what, I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but with that personality type, I've seen that a lot, that kind of person. And when she expresses her feelings, it's not like you and I would. It's really fast, really, and expecting you to know the feelings she has by the short little sentences she gives you, by what she relays to you. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But I think she feels bad about it. That looks It looks like a little bit of sadness in there. I would believe that if somebody, looking at that. Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate your time and your analysis. You are a world-renowned, world-class body language expert, behavior analyst, Scott Rouse, and you have very successful YouTube channels. How can we watch you? How can we get a hold of you?
If you just look up Scott Rouse, Rouse on YouTube, just put it in, my channels will pop up.
Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you back here soon.
Thanks so much. I'll come on anytime. Just let me know.
For more coverage of the case, just head to the video section of this YouTube channel where you can hear from another body language expert on Mackenzie's performance in the crash. You can hear from a crash reconstructionist about the final moments in that car. And you can also hear from a former prison inmate in how Mackenzie acts behind bars. And while you're there, do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, and hype this episode. I'll keep you updated on this case and others. Until then, take care of yourself. I'll see you next time.